Hey guys, so today as you can see in the title of this video, I'll be doing a story time about when me and my friend were stalked at the theater. I know it sounds crazy but true. And I'm actually like on my way out, but I have like time to spare, so I was like, why not like do this little video and just rant about the situation that happened. This happened a couple of months ago, but you know, it's fun. Like I think it's fun. I think it'll detain you guys. So yeah, let's get started. Okay, so this story takes place about quite a long time ago. Not like kind of about 6 months or so. So I kind of remember it, but I kind of don't. But it was just a basic day, and I had nothing to do. My friend didn't have nothing to do, and let's call my friend. I mean, I don't think she'll mind. She's one of my best friends, and further in this like channel and the videos I make, she is gonna come on, so I'm just gonna use her name, which is Sun. So me and Sun we're texting each other, and we're like, you know what, we have nothing to do, are you going out? She's like, no. Are you? I was like, no. So I was like, let's go to the movies. Then we went. I think we went to go see The Fifth Wave. I'm not quite sure, but I think so. And so we went, and we went to go buy our tickets. We got there, we went to go buy our tickets, and we had time to spare because I think it started like an hour later from when we got there. So there's like, it's on the movie theater is like in a little shopping center, so there's like a lot of variety of stuff. There's like Panda, there's like Starbucks, there's like Curacao and stuff like that. So we went to the Starbucks place, and we went to she went to go buy something. I really didn't want anything, so we just sat there, talked about boys, how life was with us and stuff like that. So we were done. It was time for the movie. We went to go see the movie. The movie was awesome. It was good. After the movie, we got hungry, obviously, and we went to go eat. There was Panda, so she wanted to eat. I was hungry, but I wasn't craving Panda, so I just went to buy some Starbucks. So we went for my Starbucks first, and then we went to go get her Panda. So we decided to sit on the tables that Panda has outside. So we decided to sit on the corner table just because on that part of the area there's a lot of car shows and cruising around, and just like cars that cruise around, so you could see, and you know, and we just wanted to see the guys and stuff like that. I mean, girls do that. So we were just sitting there and as I said, cars were passing by, and they were pretty nice. They were all fixed up, customized, really good. So we were just sitting there. Everything was normal. Everything was normal until we seen this car. We really didn't think about it that much at first because it was just a basic black car. I think it was a Camaro or a Challenger. Don't know. Can't remember that much. But I was like, oh look, because it was like all black, tinted windows, blue headlights. So I was like, okay, you know, whatever. So we seen it pass once, and we didn't think about it, so we just kept talking and talking. And I'm a selfie person. I love to take pictures, okay? You should know that by my Instagram, or people that know me know that I love pictures. So I was taking pictures, I was Snapchatting, Instagram, everything. And when I was taking the selfie, I seen the car behind me again. So I was like, okay, maybe they're meeting up here, because usually like they meet up at little shopping centers and whatnot. So I was like, okay, maybe like it's gonna go down, like we're about to see like a car show or whatnot. But no, so they passed again. I was like, oh, okay, whatever. So I stayed taking pictures or whatnot, and my friend was eating, okay? She did not let that shit like affect her. She was munching because she was hella hungry. So I was like, whatever. So then a few moments later, I see that the car, so instead of going like towards the theater, it was coming towards us, like towards where Panda was, and this time on our side. So if they were going towards where the theater was going, they were on the right side. So now that they're coming toward us, like where Panda or Starbucks was, they're gonna pass like right by us, like right next to us. So it's coming, and I tell Son, like, dude, like the car is coming again. And then she's like, what? And I was like, don't turn, just like act normal, like eat or look at me or whatnot. I'm gonna be on my phone or whatnot. So it passes. So while it's passing us, mind you, I'm facing the theater and Son's facing, it's like we're sitting right in front of each other, right across from each other. So she's facing the street and I'm facing the theater, like towards where the theater is. And so I can see that coming, but she can't. So I was on my phone, so I was like that. And as they're coming towards us, and as they're about to pass us, they just slow down, and they're right in front of us, they're right next to us, like right here. They stop. They just stop. So I was like, what the hell? So I turn, and I'm like, okay, like mind you, I couldn't see anything. By that time I couldn't see anything because their windows were tinted to the max, like to the max level, so I couldn't see anything. So they passed, and I was like, okay. So then they left, and I was like, all right. They made a turn on the Panda thing, and they got into Starbucks, or so I thought. Little did I know that they were gonna just do a U-turn and come back around, because I seen this since I was sitting in the corner, and I could face like everything, I could see everything. I seen them turn around, and they turned, and then they parked. So they parked on like one of the aisles of the parking things, but they were visible to us. Like they could see us, and we could see them too. They thought we could, or at least they thought we couldn't see them, but we could. So the door opens. Okay, the door opens, and one guy comes out and just stands there, like in between the door and the car, and is looking around and it's looking at us. And then it came to a point where he just stared at us, like dead stared at us, and I was like, what the fuck? And I looked, and then I looked back at Son. I was like, dude, I swear to God, he's fucking looking at us. And she's like, where? I was like, you're gonna look to your left, and like right straight when you look, you're gonna see him. He's kind of bald in the black car. And she's like, all right. So I started taking pictures, and I was like, okay, go ahead, like do it, because we didn't want to make it noticeable, but it was kind of noticeable, you know. We weren't that like undercovers type thing. So she turned around, and she's like, what the fuck? And I was, dude, why is he staring at us? I was like, I know. So we're like, okay, whatever. So we're like, you know what, let's go to the theater, as if we're gonna go see a movie or whatnot, just to see if they follow us, or if anything, maybe it's just a coincidence, and like they don't even care about us, like they're not even paying attention to us, you know what I mean? Okay, so by this time we already had in mind, we're like, we're gonna go to the theater, and like let's just see like what happens. So when we were about to go to the theater, they got off. So the guy that was standing at the door, at his door, the driver's side, got off, and then the passenger got off. So we're like, okay, so at least we know it's two. Also, we think it's two. They got off, and the store that was between the theaters and Panda, there's other stores there, but the main one was Curacao, and it's like just like an electronic store or whatnot. So it was there. So they walked towards that, and now we could see it was two guys dressed in all black. They were kind of like little gangsta cholos, like I don't know, and they were both bald. One was big, like tall and kind of chubby, and the other one was like skinny and like short, and one of them was wearing glasses. Like we could see all of that, you know what I mean? So we see them, and they walk towards Curacao. So we're on this side of Curacao, so we're on the right side of Curacao, and the theater's on the left side of Curacao. So to go to the theater, we had to pass Curacao. So at this point, we were like, what are we gonna do? Mind you, the parking lot was scary because some of the lights didn't work. So we're like, hell no, fuck that. We're not gonna go through the parking lot. We're not gonna go through the parking lot. So we sat there, and by this time, since we already knew that the guys had gotten off their cars, we were not scared. Well, I guess you wouldn't say scared, but we were a little freaked out. Like we really didn't know. Like we got scared further, like into what happens. Right now we're just kind of freaked out, like what's going on type thing. So instead of sitting across from me, she sat right next to me. So she was facing the parking lot now. So I was facing the theater, she was facing the parking lot, and well, we could see the street, but nobody was paying attention to the street. So so we were waiting, and like she wasn't even hungry anymore. She left that shit, like she was done, and we're just sitting there. So we waited a couple of minutes, and I think about 10 minutes went by or so, and they came out, and they looked this way towards us to the right, and then like for a cool minute, it's not those turns like you're like, okay, let me see what's going over there, nothing, okay, let me see over there. No, it was that I see you, you can see that I see you, and I know that you're seeing that I see you, you know what I mean? So then they walked towards the theater. So we're like, fuck, like, should we go to the theater? Should we go not? I mean, there was people in Panda and in Starbucks, but the theater is the theater. Like, there's gonna be a lot of people in there. So we're like, you know what? Our best like choice at this point, just to really see if they're following us or not, is to like go to the theater. So at this point, we see a group of friends, I guess you could say friends, coming from the theater towards like this way. So we're like, okay, let's just go right now, you know, just in case of anything. So we go. It was about like 10:30, and I had to be, my sister was on her way, so she called me. My sister was on her way to pick us up because I have curfew. Cause girl, y'all should know I have strict as parents. I don't be out late, yo. Honestly, like, I have curfew. I'm not ashamed to say it because I have hella strict parents, and all my friends know that. So it's like they already know what they're going into, you know what I mean? So I had curfew, so they were gonna go pick us up already. So I was like, fuck it, like, these are one of these days. I know sometimes I'd be like, why the fuck do I have curfew if I'm like 20 years old already, you know what I mean? So it's like, why? But at this point I was like, hell yeah, like, come pick us up, like, we ready to go. So they were gonna pick us up, and my sister was close to there, so she's like, let me just pick you guys up. And I was like, okay, cool. So we went aside from, like, right outside from the theaters, and we were waiting there. And we see the guys. Now this time I was facing the theater doors, and someone was facing like the little where the food things were at. She's like, oh my god, they're coming. And I was like, what do you mean? She's like, yeah, they're coming. So I was like, okay, act normal. So we were both on our phones, and they passed us once. So instead of passing through where like there's a little pathway to like just like pass the theater and not even go through the theater, they come through the theater. And right as they're passing us, they're like, and I was like, oh my god. I was like talking to son, like, oh my god, like, they're calling us. And they're like, hey. And we're like, what the fuck? Hell no, you better not fucking talk to me. No. So they, like, we keep on our phone, like, we don't even pay attention. And they're like, hey. And then I was like, fuck. So I was like, fuck it, like, if I don't turn around and see like what the fuck they want, they're not gonna leave us alone. So by that time I looked up, and then I turned around and I didn't see nobody. Nobody was there, and they weren't there anymore. So I was like, what the fuck, where'd they go? So we were like, you know, panicking, not panicking, but it's like, oh my god, where they're at, like, where are they? Like, we just wanted to have them in sight so we could know where the fuck they were at. So we walked back to Starbucks, and while we were walking to Starbucks, we saw them walking to their car. So we're like, okay, maybe they're leaving. So we're like, just walk faster, you know. So instead of going to the car, one of the guys was like, hey to the other guy, like, hey, they're going right, they're right there. So he goes like this, he's like, hey, like that, or like, and we looked around, like, there was nobody else there. Like, where we were walking, there was nobody else. So one of the guys that was already close to the car, like, goes towards us. So they were both going toward us. We went inside and we're just looking around. People were like looking at us like, what the fuck is wrong with these bitches? Because we were like breathing so heavily, you know. So we were there, she bought something, we sat outside, and like at that time I was just calling my sister, like, where the fuck are you? I didn't want to scare her, because maybe we didn't really know what the fuck was going on ourselves. Like, we didn't have no answers or whatnot. So the group of friends that we had originally passed were at Panda. So there was like about 4 or 5 girls and 3 guys. So the 5 or 4 girls and one guy left, and then there was 2 guys. So the 2 guys sat on the left of us, and they were just like chit-chatting by themselves, like they were on a far table, and then it was just us 2. It was us 2 and them 2 on that far table. So we were just like, okay, at least if like something happens, they're right here or whatnot. Hell nah, like, they didn't do shit. I mean, nothing happened, but they didn't do shit, because at the end of the day, like, you'll know why. So then out of nowhere, I don't know if we were into our phones or we were really spaced out, I'm not quite sure. We look up, or I look up, and they're halfway past Curacao, coming towards us or going towards us, I don't know. So we start panicking. We're like, what the fuck, like what do we do? So the guys on the side started looking at us, and because I said, why do they keep following us? We said that. So they stared at us. She was just like, let's go, like, Jackie, let's go. And so we're like, let's go to Starbucks or something, because Starbucks closest thing from us, and it was open. So we went, and we just like stood in there. We're like, oh my god, it's so hot or whatnot. We were just like making shit up. And so I was like, whatever. So they come and they pass, and they just stand in the corner of Starbucks, and we're like, should we go, should we not? So my sister was like, I'm about to be there like in 2 minutes. They had left us in a certain place, so we're like, we have to go back to the theater, because they left us right in the theater. So we're like, I was like, son, we have to go there, like we have no choice, like we have to go there. We got out of the Starbucks, and we were like speed walking that shit. And the guy seen us out. The guy started walking behind us, like they just started walking as well. So Son was like, I think it was Son or either me, I'm not sure. They're like, oh my god, here they come. And we kind of said it loud, so the other people, but they didn't do shit. I was like, what the fuck? Like, you see 2 girls like over here like dying and panicking, and you ain't gonna do shit? I was like, whatever. So they don't do anything. I didn't expect them to like say, oh, what's up, you know, but at least to like check or like say, hey, are you okay, or some shit like that, you know what I mean? But they didn't do shit, so we're like, whatever. So we walked, so we're booking into the theaters, and we're just waiting. They wouldn't come, and they were walking slow, so they weren't like really where we were booking that shit. Like, we were fast. Like, by the time they were gonna cross to Panda, we're already passing Corazao. That's how fast we were walking. And we went, and we're waiting. I was like, where the fuck are you? And she's like, why are you hurrying me up? Like, what's wrong? I was like, oh, I have to pee or whatever. She's like, go to the theaters. I was like, I don't have a ticket, they won't let me in. Go to Panda. I don't know, I was just making like 1,000 excuses. I just wanted her to get there. Well, they're finally getting close, and then I see my sister's car. We're like, yes, bitch, we're fucking safe. Once they seen that, I guess we went like this to my sister, or I don't know what the fuck, but they turned around and they walked to their car. Like, once we got in the car, and we actually passed through where their car was and where they were getting, they stared at us dead on. Like, they just stared at us, and we're like, what the fuck, you know what I mean? We told my sister, and my sister was like, you know what, like, don't say nothing to our dad, because if he hears that, and it's true, because my dad's very strict and very overprotective. So if I had told him what had happened, girl, this bitch right here would not be able to go out anymore. So I didn't tell him. I did tell my mom when I got home. I told my mom, I told my sisters, and she was like, well, Nathan, just be careful, or just stay in one place, like don't walk back and forth. Like, what the fuck were you guys doing? So yeah, that's the time when me and my friend, my best friend, got stalked at the theaters. Technically not at the theater, because that would have been fucking scary, like inside the theater where it's dark. But you know, we went to the theater, so we got stalked, like, you know what I mean? So yeah. And afterwards, like after days pass, and you know how like you think about like scenarios and shit, like we were thinking that while they were passing the car, like in their car, they were probably thinking like, are these bitches alone, or I don't know. But I'm just glad God was on our side and nothing happened to us, because that shit was scary. Like, okay, so that was my story time. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If you guys like these, just like let me know or anything. I really enjoy seeing stories because they're hella fun, they're exciting. It's funny to remember like the dumb things or the situations you had in life or whatnot. So like, if you guys like this, like let me know. Add me on Instagram at Villanes Beauty, or Snapchat at Just Kiss Jackie, whatever you guys want. So thank you so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed it, and don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and comment anything if you guys want. So thank you so much, and until next time.